In a world obsessed with attention, the most powerful move is to disappear. Not physically, but strategically. While everyone fights to be seen, heard, and validated, true power players understand something counterintuitive. Visibility creates vulnerability. The less people know about your movements, the more freedom you have to execute. Principle 1. Operate in the shadows. The spotlight attracts competitors, critics, and parasites. When you announce every achievement, you paint a target on your back. Successful operators understand this instinctively. They build in private. They execute in silence. They celebrate internally. Consider the difference between two entrepreneurs. One posts daily updates about their startup, shares revenue milestones, and broadcasts their strategy on social media. The other works quietly, tests rapidly, and only speaks when the product launches. The first invites copycats and skeptics. The second creates shock and awe. Strategic invisibility doesn't mean isolation. It means selective visibility. You appear where it matters and disappear where it doesn't. You control the narrative by releasing information on your timeline, not someone else's. Principle 2. Let others take credit. This sounds insane in an age of personal branding, but it's devastatingly effective. When you let others take credit for wins you orchestrated, you accomplish three things. First, you eliminate envy. Second, you build unexpected allies. Third, you remain underestimated. Power doesn't require recognition. It requires results. The person pulling strings behind the curtain often holds more influence than the puppet on stage. History proves this repeatedly. The most effective advisors, strategists, and kingmakers rarely sought the throne themselves. When someone else gets applause for your work, they become indebted to you. They know the truth, even if others don't. That creates leverage without confrontation. Meanwhile, you remain free to execute your next move without scrutiny. Principle 3. Master the information game. In the information age, data is currency. But most people misunderstand how to use it. They consume endlessly and share freely. Strategic invisibility requires the opposite: selective consumption and minimal sharing. Every post you make, every opinion you broadcast, every reaction you give creates a data trail. Algorithms learn your patterns. Competitors study your moves. Critics find ammunition. The less you feed these systems, the less they can use against you. This doesn't mean going dark completely. It means being intentional. Ask yourself before posting, does this advance my position or just satisfy my ego? Does this reveal strategy or just create noise? If the answer isn't clear, stay silent. The best operators maintain multiple layers: a public persona that's controlled and minimal, private circles where real work happens, and a core inner circle where strategy is forged. Each layer serves a purpose, and information flows one way, outward on your terms. Principle 4. Build in secret, launch in public. The greatest advantage in any competitive arena is surprise. When no one sees you building, no one can prepare for your arrival. This principle applies to products, businesses, skills, and personal transformation. Consider Apple's approach to product development. They operate under intense secrecy. No leaks, no previews, no beta tests for the public. When they launch, the market reacts to a finished product, not a rumored one. Competitors scramble. Customers feel excitement, not fatigue from months of anticipation. You can apply this to anything. Learning a new skill? Don't announce your beginner phase. Master it quietly, then demonstrate competence when it matters. Building a business? Don't share the idea, share the traction. Making a life change? Let results speak before words do. Building in secret also protects you from premature judgment. Ideas are fragile in early stages. Criticism can kill momentum before you've validated anything. By the time you go public, you have proof, not promises. Principle 5. Use proxies and intermediaries. Direct action creates direct exposure. When you operate through others, you gain deniability, flexibility, and protection. This isn't about manipulation. It's about strategic structure. In business, this looks like partnerships, contractors, and representatives. They interact with the market while you maintain operational control. In negotiations, this looks like agents and intermediaries who can make offers without committing you. In information gathering, this looks like networks that provide intelligence without tracing back to source. The benefit is separation. When things succeed, you can claim association. When things fail, you have distance. This isn't cowardice, it's architecture. Great leaders build systems where they're essential but not exposed. This principle also protects your time and energy. Every direct interaction is a drain. When others handle the front lines, you preserve capacity for high-level decisions. You're not avoiding responsibility, you're optimizing leverage. Principle 6. Control your digital shadow. Your digital footprint is permanent, searchable, and weaponizable. Every comment, like, and share builds a profile that others can study. Strategic invisibility requires digital discipline. Start with a simple rule. Assume everything is public and permanent. That email you send in anger, it can be forwarded. That comment on a controversial post, it can be screenshot. That photo from 10 years ago, it can resurface. Successful operators audit their digital presence regularly. They Google themselves. They review social media history. They understand what story their online activity tells. Then they clean, curate, or create intentional distance. This doesn't mean deleting everything. It means being conscious. Use private channels for sensitive discussions. Keep professional and personal accounts separate. Understand platform privacy settings. Assume breaches will happen and structure accordingly. The goal is simple. Control the story someone finds when they search for you. If you can't control it completely, at least understand what's out there and have context ready. Principle 7. Create strategic misdirection. Invisibility isn't just about hiding, it's about directing attention elsewhere. Magicians understand this perfectly. The hand you watch isn't the one performing the trick. In competitive environments, this means creating decoys. You emphasize one initiative publicly while advancing another privately. You let people think they understand your priorities while you work on what actually matters. This requires layered thinking. Surface-level activity that satisfies curiosity. Mid-level activity that appears strategic. Deep-level activity that drives real results. Most people stop at the first layer. Competitors might reach the second. Very few see the third. Strategic misdirection also protects innovation. When people think they know your direction, they stop looking for alternatives. Meanwhile, you're already 3 moves ahead, working on something they haven't considered. Principle 8. Maintain operational security. Military units understand operational security. Businesses call it confidentiality. Either way, it's about protecting plans until execution. This means controlling who knows what and when. Not everyone needs full information. Compartmentalization isn't distrust, it's structure. Different people need different details at different times. It also means understanding threat vectors. Who benefits from knowing your plans? Who might share them intentionally or accidentally? Who has access to sensitive information and how is it protected? Simple practices create massive advantages. Sensitive discussions happen in person, not over text. Strategic documents stay offline or heavily encrypted. Key decisions involve only essential people. Timelines remain flexible until commitment is necessary. The principle is straightforward. The more people who know a plan, the higher the chance it becomes public. Limit the circle. Execute with precision. Reveal only when revealing serves your purpose. The paradox of power. Here's the paradox. True power doesn't need to be seen to be felt. In fact, the most sustainable power operates quietly, consistently, and without fanfare. Strategic invisibility isn't about fear or hiding. It's about focus. Every minute spent managing your public image is a minute not spent building real capability. Every piece of information you broadcast is leverage you surrender. Every controversy you engage is energy you waste. The operators who change industries, build empires, and create lasting impact rarely do it in the spotlight. They work in the margins, the gaps, the quiet spaces where real work happens. They understand that attention is expensive and distraction is everywhere. Your challenge isn't to disappear completely. It's to be intentional about when you appear and why. To control your narrative without constantly defending it. To build without broadcasting. To execute without explaining. In a world drowning in noise, silence is a superpower. In an age obsessed with visibility, strategic invisibility creates freedom. The question isn't whether you can afford to operate this way. The question is whether you can afford not to. Master the art of strategic invisibility, and you'll discover something unexpected. When you stop fighting for attention, you gain something far more valuable: autonomy, clarity, and the freedom to build exactly what you envision without interference. The world doesn't need to watch you work. It just needs to see the results.